There isn't one. So there is and there isn't one. So let me answer that. So it's interesting. I've been around since Hashimoto's was kind of more or less began to be taken seriously. And the initial diet that was put together for Hashimoto's was the anti-inflammatory diet. That's what it was called. Anti-inflammatory diet. Hashimoto's is an autoimmune problem. You want to put it into remission by dampening immune inflammation, and you dampen immune inflammation by doing a lot of different things. But at that point in time, we didn't know what they all were, so it started out as the inflammatory diet, the anti-inflammatory diet, and then it morphed into the autoimmune paleo diet, and that seems to be probably the best baseline diet for Hashimoto's. However, okay, a lot of people come in here and say, I was on the autoimmune paleo diet, I got off of gluten, and I felt worse. So the problem is that person has probably something called a FODMAP problem. They probably need to be on a SIBO diet, a low FODMAP diet for SIBO. So when I say there is one, there isn't one. These are the nuances of diet. So for those of you looking for the magic diet, it doesn't exist, because whether it's and other people come in here. I have three now. I have literally three now. It's killing me. People who are coming in and they can't eat hardly anything. They can only eat raw foods, or they can't only. So that's what's called an oral tolerance program. They're not tolerating their foods properly, and so you can use what's called a mucosal diet for that. So all of these affect autoimmunity. That's the point. And when we're treating Hashimoto's, you're treating autoimmunity. And one of the first things you have to do is figure out which diet's the right one for them to start out with. In the end, it usually is going to morph into the autoimmune paleo diet, but sometimes people are on a low FODMAP diet and they got to stay on that forever. In addition to that, you have to fine tune the diet. You have to fine tune the diet to that person. What do I mean by that? You have to find out what their food allergies are. And most people know when they come in here what their food allergies are. They know that they're allergic to strawberries or whatever. And they eat a strawberry and they don't feel good, or they get a rash or something like that. But it's food sensitivities. Food sensitivities have to be ferreted out. This is huge. If you don't get the diet right and you don't get the food sensitivities right, all the people who are coming in here are going like, well, I've tried every diet and it's not working, and I've tried all the, and it's not working. It's because they have to figure out which diet's right, which can be a challenge sometimes. And then within the framework of that diet, you have to figure out what a person's food sensitivities are, which can be a challenge sometimes. So that's really the skinny on diet. There's no magic bullet out there. There's no magic diet. If you get on the autoimmune paleo diet and you feel like $1,000,000, you're very fortunate, and that's awesome, and I hope that's happening for a lot of you. But those are not the people who show up in here. So that's really kind of just a brief, kind of a Cliff Notes summation of diet, because obviously if I got into all the specifics of that, this would be an hour and 10 minutes long. No, it would be like 3 hours and 10 minutes long. So diet, and food sensitivities specific to the person. The diet is there to dampen immune inflammation. It's the beginning point for all of these conditions.